Hey folks, I'm Serious JG, and welcome back to what should be the final episode of Let's Play Stationfall. Um, Now, I've had some, generally the people who bother to comment at all on the text adventures are usually commenting to say that they're really glad I'm doing the text adventures. In my Let's Play career, I definitely have people come in and, make negative comments, but usually it's when I'm playing something where there's like strategy games where, especially Panzer General, people coming in saying, "Oh, I'm way better than you at this game," and action games. Um, I think these are games that like a lot of people haven't seen, and the people who had seen them, they're so nostalgic and fond of them that they're just really great to see. So I don't know how many, how much, not really making any sense today. I don't know how soon I'm going to jump on another one of these games, but if people are really enjoying this, yeah, let me know. Because it was kind of fun to play this. Especially when I'm playing that, like, halfway between cheating and not cheating, where I just keep the cheats available and, we'll fall back on them fairly soon if I get in trouble. That's really not the way to play these games if you're serious about it, and you wouldn't want to, back in the day, you wouldn't want to buy the game and the hint book in the same trip to the store, because the games go through so fast if you use the hint book every time you get stuck. But for Let's Play purposes, I think it works really well, and I've definitely enjoyed playing this, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. But we're just about done here. This is going to be the last hurrah for our unnamed hero and his robot pal Floyd, because there was no follow-up to Stationfall. But there are some other Steve Meretzky games out there that we could check out, including Sorcerer, a game I do not remember very well, because I played Enchanter, but I never played Sorcerer. Sorcerer is the follow-up to Enchanter. But since it's a Meretzky game and Enchanter wasn't, I don't really expect them to have that much similarity in tone. So you guys let me know if you want to see Sorcerer, or if there's another Infocom text adventure from back in the day that you'd like to see on my channel. But in the meantime, I'm going to restore save 8, I believe, puts us in computer control. Although actually, you know what, let's do save 7. You've reached the bottom, because I want to just read the last room again. You have reached the bottom of the air vent. Duct's too small for you to enter. Lead off laterally. Handholds lead upward, and the entire floor of the duct is another large grating. So if you open grating and go down... Oh, the grating opens, spilling you into the room below. This tiny control station allows access to computer control. Massive memory banks the station's computer. Ever since the formation of the Third Galactic Union ended the Great Interstellar Dark Age, every Stellar Patrol spaceship, every patrol space station has been equipped with a computer bulging with the entire accumulated knowledge of mankind. Never again will humanity be permitted to slip back into the ignorance and savagery of the Dark Age. The ladder leads up to level 8, and there's a call button next to the elevator shaft to the north. See an exercise machine here. This is where we left off last time. The exercise machine rolls slowly towards you, bellowing, "No pain, no gain." A flat, emotionless voice booms over the station's PA system. Announcement: stand by. Launched in 200 millicrons. The light from the headlamp seems somewhat dimmer. Don't really care about the headlamp anymore. So let's try pressing the call button. Nothing happens. As the exercise machine nears you, its massive weights and levers begin crashing violently against each other. North. The exercise machine blocks your way. The exercise machine reaches you and performs various repetitions all over your body, proving that exercise isn't always good for you. You have died. Oh, and I finished downloading Prisoners of the Lost Universe off of Rift Tracks. For some reason, I decided I want to watch that again. It's an older Rift Tracks. Day 3 of your adventure. Current galactic standard time is impossible to determine since your chronometer has stopped. Your score is 73 of 80 points. Give me the rank of Interstellar Superstar. So we'll restore slot 8 when we were actually already in this room. In our inventory, we're carrying reflective foil, a jammer, a key, a 20-ohm bedister, a thermos bottle, and a fuser beam zap gun. It seems that the jammer contains a 20-prong Frommets board, which you need. Shoot machine. You can't see any machine here. Oh, I may have... Unless I'm really confused, I definitely off-screen checked to make sure that I knew how to finish the game before starting this video. And then took a couple days break. Maybe I saved after defeating the puzzle with the machine, but if so, it was a mistake. Open shaft. Okay, so now we've got the machine coming towards us. Shoot machine. with the Fuser Beam Zap Gun. Footnote 9. A blaze of intense rays watches over the exercise machine. It glows for a bit, but then cools. As the exercise machine nears you, its massive weights and levers begin crashing violently against each other. Footnote 9. Kids, Zap guns are very dangerous. Don't try this at home without adult supervision. Turn on jammer. Too late. You may recall, and you may not recall, that there was a sign in the exercise room that we got to earlier in the game, which kind of gives away what you're supposed to do here. Because you'll remember, we visited the exercise machine, room, and the exercise machine is there. And then we visited it much later, and the exercise machine seemed to be gone. But there was a sign over the exercise machine that says, warning, the exercise machine, its internal computers run at frequency 710. Do not bring in any equipment running at that frequency or it'll interfere with the machine. Something like that. The sign actually said it. Matter of fact, the hint book reminds us. Maybe it'll tell us the wording. No, it doesn't actually tell us what the sign says, but it does remind us that 710 is the frequency. So, what's the frequency, Kenneth? Yes, there is a sign. This is something you're meant to be able to figure out. And there's a couple of puzzles you have to solve in order to do it. You need to get the, not that it's a puzzle so much, but you need to find the helmet we're wearing right now with a light on it to get the jammer, because the jammer is in one of the game's few dark rooms. There's only 2 darkened rooms in the game. Well, 3 if you count space, which I guess does count. So there's 3 dark rooms in the game. One of them is space, which we have to get the explosive, which you need to win the game. One of them is where the jammer is. You need that to win the game. And then the 3rd dark room has nothing useful in it. And as you may recall in Planetfall, there were a couple of darkened rooms, but you never had any ability to illuminate them in Planetfall. They were red herrings. In this game, they're fairly important. So we're going to restore slot 7. We're going to turn on jammer. Okay, the jammer's now on. Look at jammer. The jammer is a black box with short antenna. It has a 20-prong Frommets board plugged into it. The jammer, which is on, looks as if it can be set to any frequency between 0 and 1400. It's currently set to 337. The light from the headlamp seems somewhat dimmer. Open shaft. We fall. Exercise machine is coming at us. Set jammer at 710. Set the jammer to 710. The exercise machine experiences a series of mechanical spasms and then freezes. Before you can catch your breath, a huge grime-covered forklift descends from the ladder hole on a cushion of anti-gravity. It settles down between the arms of the frozen exercise machine, smoke pouring from its engine vents like steam from the nostrils of an angry bull. Save on slot 8. Shoot. Forklift. A blaze of intense rays watches over the forklift. It glows for a second, but then cool. The forklift races its engines, producing a deafening roar. Wait. The forklift continues to rev its motor, filling the room with suffocating exhaust fumes. Wait. The forklift seems to be slipping its engine into gear. The 2 pointy tines of its lifting fork seem to quiver with anticipation. It continues to be at the same location, though. And this is the key to the puzzle. The forklift seems to be slipping its engine into gear. Okay. The forklift sits between the arms of the frozen exercise machine, smoke pouring from its engine vents like steam from the nostrils of an angry bull. It's revving its engine, and probably not because its pistons need a workout. The forklift slips into gear and zooms forward, goring you on its fork. You have died. So if we restore slot 8. I don't know if I figured this one out as a kid, but the puzzle here is to turn off the jammer, because you turn on the jammer and it freezes up the exercise machine, and then the forklift descends, and as they remind you in the description, it is between the arms of the exercise machine. So if you turn off the jammer, the exercise machine springs to life, its powerful arms clamping shut on the forklift. The vehicle belches exhaust as it tries to free itself. The 2 machines tumble over each other in a death grip and then explode. When the smoke clears, there's not a trace of either machine. So now we can save on slot 8. Look around. A ladder leads up to level 8, and there's a call button next to the elevator shaft to the north. Press button. Nothing happens. North. Shaft at level 9. There is gravity here at the bottom of the elevator shaft. The elevator's not in sight. The only exit is back to the computer room to the south. South. Up. Factory. Because remember, we were able to get all the way from levels 1 through 6 before, or 1 through 7, I guess it was, but we couldn't get to level 8 or 9. Level 9 is at the bottom of the very bottom of the air shaft. That was the computer room we're in. But level 8 above it is the factory. Although you suspected what you would find here on level 8, the sight is still a shock, filling you with dread. All the station's main systems, air and water purification, artificial gravity, power plant, have been completely transfigured into a tiny factory. The purpose of the factory is obvious, because all around you are now a row after row of featureless pyramids, each perfectly identical, each sitting aboard a miniature space pod, waiting to be launched towards every sector of the galaxy. The original pyramid sits on a pedestal in the center of the factory, like a monarch impassively surveying its domain. Floyd is standing between you and the pyramid, his face so contorted by hate as to be almost unrecognizable. You also wonder where he picked up that black eye patch. It seems that Floyd has a stun ray. No goatee, just an eye patch and a stun ray. Sitting on the pedestal is a pyramid. One of the blinking lights on the reactor goes from yellow to red. Floyd. Stop this. Your command was not complete. Next time, type what you want Floyd to stop. Floyd. Help me. Shut up, orders Floyd. Floyd fires his stun ray nonchalantly in your direction, laughing as though taunting you. You feel part of your leg go numb. Play with Floyd. Wasn't that fun? Smoke is trickling from the tails of the tiny rockets, as though the duplicate pyramids were preparing for activation and launch. Floyd, stop launch. You use the word launch in a way that I understand. Floyd, stop pyramid. Shut up, orders Floyd. Smoke is trickling from the tails of the tiny rockets, as though the duplicate pyramids were preparing for activation and launch. Put foil on pyramid. Because we know that it is plutonium foil, and we know from the clue in the spaceship when we tasted the dots that... Let's actually go find this. Oh, and here's a joke clue from the clue book. How can I avoid the crazed washing machine? Because you have clues. How can I pass a marauding exercise machine? How can I survive the charging forklift? How can I avoid the crazed washing machine? I take my business to a different laundromat. There's no washing machine in Stationfall. The missing washer from the laundry was probably disassembled for parts to make more alien pyramids. So there's a joke clue in here. But to paralyze the pyramid, emanations are stopped by element 7-8. Do you know how to read a periodic table of elements? Or a period table of elements, as this hint book says. If not, the element with atomic number of 78 is platinum. See the question about the platinum detector. You have to cover the pyramid with platinum foil, because it's weak against platinum. But if you put foil on the pyramid, as you approach the pyramid, Floyd levels his stun ray at you, so you quickly back off. Floyd fires his stun ray nonchalantly in your direction, laughing as though taunting you. You feel part of your leg go numb. Look at Floyd. Floyd is standing between you and the pyramid, his face still contorted by hate, as to be almost unrecognizable. You also wonder if he picked up that black eye patch. It seems that Floyd has a stun ray. One of the blinking lights on the reactor goes from yellow to red. Give Floyd jammer. As you approach Floyd, he levels a stun ray at you, so you quickly back off. Floyd fires his stun ray nonchalantly, laughing as though taunting you. You feel part of your leg go numb. Turn off lamp. I'm trying to see how you can die here. I'm surprised. I figured Floyd would kill you or something, but he's not actually doing that. You just keep getting this message, and then I wait. One of the blinking lights in the reactor goes from yellow to red. The very walls of the space station are blown outwards, and the tiny spaceships roar to life and begin rocketing off in every direction. Just before you pass out from lack of air, the station's reactor turns into a good old-fashioned H-bomb. You have died. So, here's the thing. At the end of the game, I remembered this being more emotional than it actually is. Floyd has fully turned against you because of the powers of the pyramid. He was clearly broken up, but did choose to save you when Plato tried to murder you. But at this point, the dark powers of this pyramid device, which reprograms machinery, has corrupted Floyd, and he's wearing an eye patch, and he's got a stun gun. But he doesn't kill us. Instead, what happens is, the frickin' station explodes, and the pyramids fly off in all directions. But these I have to assume, and it's weird, it was like this in Planetfall 2. Like, it's not quite clear whether these robots are, like, sentient or alive. There's certainly indications that they're more than just machines. And we saw like the baby robot Oliver getting ready to be born earlier. So there's something there's more to these things than them just being robots. It does remind me a little bit of obviously a game that came much later. Oh, great! Now I'm blanking on what the actual name of it is. The one Zerfall played with the that went out of its way to be like really trans friendly. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts now that I can't remember the name of that game. But go to Zerfall's channel and look for a game. I cannot remember the name of this game. Madness. The hell, you're not in a hurry, right? Let's go to Zerfall's channel. 8-bit Memories or something or other. Come on, man. Hurry up and update Lifeline, Zerfall. I've been waiting. Read-Only Memories, that's what it's called. Yeah, Read-Only Memories. Fun LP that you should check out. But it has like artificial intelligence funsies, fun going on. But this game, it's kind of similar. It's like, are these things really alive, or are they kind of alive adjacent? What was the exercise machine? Now it's like no pain, no gain. Haha, it's a pun. And the forklift doesn't talk; it just kills you. We had the spool reader, which really has no way of threatening you, but it does laugh and say, "You will die, human. All humans will die," because they've been taken over by the evil force. But these machines, once the fucking pyramid blows up the station, like, in the sense that they're alive, Floyd and all the other robots who are on this station who've been trying to kill you, they're gonna die. So this pyramid's an asshole, and it's not like it's liberating robots. Basically, it's like I'm trying to think of a way to save Floyd. Like, if Floyd can be redeemed or whatever, Floyd dies if we don't stop the pyramid. And unfortunately, now we're back in the pyramid, there's only one way to actually get to the pyramid and stop Floyd. And stop the pyramid, rather. And it's just like Meretzky to do this to you, because Planetfall, you can't win the game unless Floyd is willing to sacrifice himself. And originally, Floyd was just going to die, but people prevailed upon Meretzky to make it so that if you complete all the puzzles and get a perfect score, Floyd gets to come back. But Floyd was originally supposed to die in Planetfall. People prevailed upon Meretzky to change it, and he survived Planetfall. But guess what? Meretzky can be a bit of an asshole, and the only way to actually stop the pyramid and save humanity is to shoot Floyd with the laser beam zap gun. The bolt hits Floyd squarely in the chest. He is blown backwards against the pedestal and slumps at the desk. Examine Floyd. Floyd is lying between you and the pyramid, seriously damaged by zap gun fire. Put foil on pyramid. The foil settles over the pyramid like a blanket, reflecting the pyramid's evil emanations right back into itself. A reverberating whine, like an electronically amplified beehive, fills the room. The whine grows louder and louder, the pyramid and its pedestal still begin vibrating, and the sharp smell of ozone assaults you. Oh, because it's like you're microwaving something with tinfoil. The noise and the smell and the vibration overwhelm you. As your knees buckle and you drop to the deck, the pyramid explodes in a burst of intense white light. The explosion leaves you momentarily blinded, but you can hear a mechanized voice on the PA system getting slower and deeper like a stereo disc that has lost its power. Launch aborted. Launch aborted. The replica pyramids fade to darkness, and a subtle change in the background tells you that the space station systems and machinery are returning to their normal functions. Still dazed, you crawl over to Floyd, lying in a smoking heap near the blackened pedestal. Damaged beyond any conceivable repairs, he half opens his eyes and looks up at you for the last time. Floyd's sorry for the way he acted. Floyd knows what you did what you had to do. Wincing in pain, he slowly reaches over to touch your hand. One last game of hider and seeker? You be it. Ollie. His voice is growing weaker. Oxen? His eyes close. Free. His hand slips away from yours, and he slumps backwards, lifeless. One of his components falls open, and Floyd's favorite paddle ball set drops to the deck. In the long silence that follows, something Plato said echoes through your mind. Think instead about the joy-filled times when you and your friend were together. Remember, that's what he said about Lazarus. A noise makes you turn around, and you see Oliver, the little robot that stirred such brotherly feelings in Floyd. You mean it sat on his chest, made him eat Snicker snacks? Toddling over to you on unsteady legs, he looks uncomprehendingly at Floyd's remains, but picks up the paddleball set. Oliver looks up at you, tugs on the leg of your patrol uniform, and asks in a quavering voice, Playtime! Play game with Oliver? Hit return/enter. And for some reason, that kills the DOS box. So I don't really remember if that's all you get at the end of Stationfall, or if there's a problem with the DOS box simulation and something else is supposed to happen. But I remember the ending being really abrupt, even compared to Planetfall's ending. We had 80 out of 80 points. We won the game. That's it. At the end of the game, Steve Meretzky makes you kill Floyd, and then gives you a replacement Floyd, which I thought was kind of an FU. But I do remember really enjoying Planetfall and Stationfall both. Like I said in the Mega Man 4 LP, I have this weird connection in my mind and my mind only between the Dustman stage and the setting of Stationfall, with its kind of deteriorating conditions as the robots stop maintaining the station and start to turn it into a factory of death. So that's it. We got most of a video out of this. I could call it now. I remember I kind of talked a lot at the end of Planetfall about what the character Floyd meant to gamers of a certain era, and how he was one of the first times that a video game killed a character that people had really grown fondly attached to. There's not a whole lot of new Floyd material other than the stuff, like, they use a lot of the same stuff, like he bumps into you and says, sorry, Floyd, not looking at where he was going. Like, a lot of that's completely recycled from Planetfall. There is new stuff between him and Oliver. And, of course, with Oliver, we really have no way of knowing what Oliver is like before the evil station starts to take him over. His behavior gets, like, he kind of is politely not that helpful to you at the beginning of the game, and is, like, openly hostile towards you later, and obviously tries to kill you eventually. But you do get the impression that left to his own devices, Plato would have been a perfectly nice robot. So yeah, it's a sad game in the sense that it forces you to kill Floyd. But yeah, like I just remember, like, when I played the Lost Treasures of Infocom version, I don't know that I got the perfect ending of Planetfall the first time around. So I was just kind of surprised that Floyd was back anyway, and I think I got the impression that that's not that big a deal that Floyd died, because you can just build another Floyd, because apparently they already did it once. But no, Floyd is in fact well and truly killed at the end of Stationfall, and replaced with Oliver, which just seems kind of, it seems mean. It seems like Meretzky is just taking the piss with us, or making fun of people who got attached to the character of Floyd in the first place, since he's like a fictional robot. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he really intended for it to be like a cycle of life. Floyd is gone, but think of the good times you had with Floyd, and life goes on, and here's a little robot named Oliver. I don't really know where he was going, but that Stationfall in particular, somehow it didn't seem like it earned murdering Floyd a second time. I don't know. Jarringly sudden ending. Like there's nothing where afterwards you get like a medal and you were thanked for saving all of humanity, because I don't know how you go about proving that humanity was ever in any danger. Like at the end of Planetfall, you save an alien race who'd been dying of some kind of crazy disease and put themselves in cryogenic stasis, and you managed to get them back. But in this game, like, all of humanity was in horrible trouble, but I don't know that anybody else knows it. Maybe the spool reader on the station might remember what happened. Any robots that you don't destroy on your way to stop the pyramid, it's hard to say. Oliver doesn't know what's going on. But it just seems very sad. And I like a lot of the settings. I really like the idea of like being on the station where all the robots are trying to kill you. I found that kind of fun, and there's a lot of humor in the game. But I don't know. You chime in and give me your opinions. But no, it is not as fondly remembered as Planetfall was. Possibly because everyone thought it was so poignant what happens with Floyd at the end of Planetfall that making you kill him again at the end of Stationfall just seemed like Meretzky resented all these people forcing him to change the ending of Planetfall. It's like, this time, I'm really fucking killing that adorable robot, and you can't stop me. Anyway, the last thing we will do before we call it a video and an LP series, I've been using the hint book throughout, and it's got occasional, and the Infocom, the Sierra games did this too. They would have, Infocom I remember doing this more than Sierra, but they would have these joke hints where there's a puzzle. It's not a real puzzle. And they're just there so that if you're spoiling puzzles before you've even gotten to them, they will make fun of you for it. So I'm flipping through looking for ones that are completely made up. Like there's a lot of intentional humor in how the hint books are written. How does the food processing and dispensing unit work? Have you turned it on? I guess the answer to how does the FPU work is it doesn't. Like all other machinery on the station has been turned against human beings by the influence of the alien pyramid. You'll have to look elsewhere for nourishment. This is early in the hint book, so that's one way to spoil for yourself that there's an evil alien pyramid. How does the nanofilm reader work? Just put a spool in the reader, then turn it on. There are 3 spools to be found in the chapel, the printing plant, and the docking bay. Number 3. You've probably noticed that static and bizarre threats are interfering with the reading of the nanofilm spools. Sorry, nothing you can do about it. Is there any way to open the storage bin? Have you read the commander's log? The storage bin key is in the safe. How do I get things from the dispenser? What's the most popular myth about ostriches? They stick their heads in holes when frightened, so do something to scare the ostrich. Yell it, kick it, or simply scare the ostrich. This is like, how do I get the, when you finally get a coin and use the dispenser in the PX, the item gets stuck in the slot and you use the ostrich to get it out. I just immediately, once I knew you're supposed to use the ostrich, which I never would have figured out without the hint book, I just put the ostrich nip in there, but apparently you're supposed to scare it to sticking its head in a hole. Are the lights in the station control important? They can tell you which of the station systems are malfunctioning. Green indicates a functioning system. Yellow signifies a minor problem. Red shows a system with serious malfunction. Monitor the lights as the crons and days pick by. The situation seems to get worse and worse. Then, on your 3rd day, all the lights are green again. That isn't because all the systems are functioning again. Obviously, the pyramid has taken over the system monitoring board to mislead you. Can I send a help message from the comm center? Push the red button. I guess not. I definitely remember that. You get like a shock. What should I do about Oliver? Oliver's presence seems to affect Floyd pretty deeply, but you can't do anything with Oliver until he wakes up, so ignore Oliver for now. Maybe he'll wake up before the end of Stationfall, maybe he won't. He doesn't wake up except to be a poignant part of the ending. Where's that forklift that belongs in the shipping room? You certainly won't be able to move the pallets to your space truck until you find it. Explore around. It seems to be missing. Considering how malevolent all the machinery is acting, I'd be worried. So some of these hints are just in there like, why would you ask where the forklift is? It's just like not really telling you anything that useful. How does the drill work? How do we get past the closed iris hatch, which is actually one of the biggest puzzles in the game? What is the meaning of the note in the bio office? And some of these are like, yeah, this is an interesting one. The bio office notes, another clue about what happened to the station before you arrived and continuing to happen. If there's any word in the note you don't know, look it up. The writer of the note was obviously killed before he finished the note. The stains are blood stains. The only English word that begins with bacteriof is bacteriophage. A bacteriophage is a virus which enters a bacteria and takes it over the bacteria's own DNA in order to turn the bacteria into a factory for producing more bacteriophages. And ultimately, the host bacteria disintegrates, launching the new bacteriophages. You'll learn more from Plato eventually. So this is useless. This is like, there's a big plot dump where Plato tells you everything, and all the clues about what's going on before that happens are kind of interesting for background, but all you have to do to get that clue from Plato is find enough food to live through to like the second half of day 2, and the whole plot gets dumped on you in one shot. So, I mean, you know, I'm criticizing a game that I like, but yeah, not entirely perfect design. But this is, again, this is early interactive fiction. They were really playing with what you couldn't do. How can I get past the mutants? Though dangerous, the mutants are obviously calmed by one thing. Have you ever turned on the large box with the pipes and pedals? It's an organ. The mutants are lulled by the sound of organ music. If you play Zebo's cantata for organ and blurble in G minor, the mutants will be lulled to sleep. It will then be safe to enter the mutant lair. Incidentally, there are no mutants in Stationfall. There are some mutants in Planetfall. Perhaps you got confused and picked up the wrong hint book. Is the holding tank important? That's where the pyramid was. If the 20-prong Fromit's board useful? If it is, you'll find out then. What the hell kind of hint is that? What does it mean when the crystal ball glows? It means the anti-M is in trouble. The crystal ball never glows. Remember that warning in the introduction. If you look at the answer to questions you don't understand, you'll probably end up learning things which will ruin the game for you. What's a bedister? Is it useful? Considering the bedister's unit of measurement, it must be a component is some kind of electrical system. If it's useful, you'll find out when you get to that section of the story. Keep reading. What is the emu doing in the water tank? The backstroke? If you were an emu aboard a space station, where would you go for a bath? What emu? What water tanks? Why are you reading this hint? I already did the one about the crazed washing machine. And now, this I was really impressed by, and I'm going to go through this and then call it a video, because now, just by having bonus material at the end, the game's over, folks. You can stop watching if you want. But this is the first of these hint books, which not just a couple of fake hints here and there for fun. This has an entire section. So you've got a section here, aboard the SP Duffy. Then you get the command module, levels 1 through 4. The command module, levels 5 through 7. The scientific submodule, the village, below level 7. So they break it up in geographic sections of the game, and below level 7 is like one of the last parts you can reach, so it goes to the end. They have now the return trip. So this is an entire section of hints, like questions, and then like inviso clues. You have to, I think this used the inviso clue system. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it just was text. And inviso clues might have been the Sierra thing. But there's a general section, and there's also a return trip section. So this entire page is made up entirely of fake puzzles and fake solutions just to fuck with people who are reading the hint book before they've gotten to the puzzles in the game. So the return trip. How can I refuel my space truck? It's not surprising that you don't know. That sort of menial task is usually done by some grunt like an ensign 9th class from the refueling division. But explore the space station, you might learn something. Have you read the commander's log? Have you been to the dome? Have you found a lilac nanofilm spool? Have you read the spool? The first step, obviously, is to open the storage bin. See the question about opening the safe. Don't go on until you've procured the key. Now just unlock the storage bin with the key and then open it. The fuel cells blow up in your face, you say? It must be the work of that nasty alien pyramid. Perhaps you'd better concentrate on neutralizing it. But where is it? See the question about getting to levels 8 and 9. Actually, there's no way to refuel the space truck in Stationfall. Presumably, after the destruction of the pyramid, the machinery stops malfunctioning, and you can send a help message, or a routine rescue party comes to the station after your late return and lack of radio contact. So the hint book is like trying to make up for the fact that the game just ends out of nowhere. It's like, well, maybe this happened, or maybe that happened. Well, I don't know. I'm only the hint book. Meretzky may not have even been involved with me. What should I do when the alien ship docks with my space truck in mid-trip? The alien ship is armed. Your space truck is unarmed. Ergo, you have no choice unless you enjoy being little bits of atomized Lieutenant First Class. Should I continue towards the Duffy? Oh, this probably should be boldface. Should I continue towards the Duffy once the aliens have boarded the truck? The aliens don't know how to program the autopilot, only you do. But the aliens have ray guns, you don't. So you'd better follow their orders unless you want to get pummeled, charred, or flushed out into space, or worse. What does Captain Fussbottom want from me? He wants to know how to stop the aliens from taking over the Duffy, especially since they keep mumbling, today the Duffy, tomorrow the galaxy. You must have seen or heard something aboard the space truck that demonstrates some weakness on the part of the aliens. Remember what happened when the mouse appeared? The aliens are terrified of mice. Go to the Duffy's biolab and release all the lab mice. How can I stop the aliens from vivisecting Captain Fussbottom? You won't be able to stop them until you have the proper, very powerful, quite deadly weapon. Don't go on until you've been to the navigation deck. Don't go on unless you've docked with the comet. Don't go on if you haven't been to the fairy castle and met the twin princesses. Don't go reading these clues unless you absolutely adore wasting time. So there you have it. There's some more clues that are about general stuff, like where can I sleep safely? How many dreams are there? There's 6 dreams. I don't remember any of the dreams that we've seen being that interesting, so we won't bother. I'm just looking for fake clues for fun. Why is my ID card being scrambled? This didn't happen to us, but it can. The information on the ID card is magnetically stored. It was scrambled by the magnetic boots. You can't carry the boots and the card at the same time without damaging the card. So yes, the big FU of carrying a magnet, it wrecks all of your cards returns. Although in this game, there's only one ID card. There's not like 8 different freaking slots like there was in the last game. Help! Plato keeps killing me. That's a question, and they tell you basically what to do. Help! Oliver keeps killing me. Who would have thought that a sleeping baby robot could be so deadly? Who would have thought that the Mets would become world champions in 1969? Who would have thought that a washed-up B-movie actor could become president? Who would have thought that a normally honest person like you would be cheating by looking at hints to a fake question like this one? And then it tells you how you get the points. And some things you can do for your amusement. Oh, there's a couple things we didn't try, and I'm not going to bother to try any of them, to be honest with you. If you really, really want to, this game is abandonware. You can find it and play it on DOSBox. But we never tried telling Floyd yes. No, actually, we did try telling Floyd yes when he asked if he can pilot the space truck, and he told us he changed his mind. We never pressed the red emergency button in the space truck. We never typed a course in the space truck's controls and then left the truck. I think we did launch the space truck with the hatch open. I don't know if we ever examined the reading the magazines in the library, look under the bed when you're in it. Shoot me in my hands, Plato, the balloon creature, the ostrich dispensing machine, the pulpit, a shrub, or a bed. Shoot the zap gun with the zap gun. I mean, there's probably these have very short little. Playing with Floyd does, I don't remember if we got to see it or not, but if you play with Floyd like shortly before he leaves and goes to the factory, he tends to, like, if he loses, he cusses you out. We definitely had him kicking us in the leg for no reason. So yeah, that's it. That's Stationfall. I've stretched this out far enough. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to write your own Something Fall fanfics where this guy and his friend Oliver go off and have exciting adventures in which he is not forced to kill Oliver. And let me know if you want to see more text adventures in the future, if you'd rather stick with other genres. If you enjoyed this, if it brought back good memories for you, just drop me a line. Let me know whether or not you had a good time listening to me play through this game. Thank you guys very much for watching, and just remember Floyd. He was a good little robot. Bye-bye.